Imagine feeling perfectly fine, no big health scares, just the usual tiredness, some joint aches, maybe a bit of brain fog that you chalk up to just getting older. That's what most seniors believe. But what if the problem isn't aging at all? What if the real issue is sitting right there on your plate every single day? As we age, our bodies go through silent but powerful changes. The digestive system slows down, the liver doesn't detox as quickly, nutrient absorption weakens, and foods we once ate with no problem, they start to hit harder. But here's the catch. Most people don't realize this shift is happening. They go on eating the same familiar things, completely unaware that these normal foods are quietly chipping away at their energy, heart health, and memory. What's truly shocking is how innocent these foods appear. They're in the fridge, on the shelves, in the pantry. They're part of sandwiches, soups, snacks, everyday meals. They don't come with warning labels. They don't taste bad. In fact, many are comfort foods we've grown up loving, but slowly, without any major red flags, they create a buildup. Inflammation creeps in. Blood sugar swings get worse. Nutrients get blocked from doing their job. And one day, you just feel off, more tired, more sluggish, more dependent on pills just to get through the day. There's a story of a senior man who felt like he was doing everything right. He walked daily, took his vitamins, and even avoided junk food. But each month, his doctor appointments got a little more discouraging. Blood pressure up, joint pain worsening, memory slipping. It wasn't until a nutritionist reviewed his diet that the real culprit came out. His healthy meals were packed with hidden triggers, foods that cause chronic inflammation, ingredients that block mineral absorption, snacks that spike insulin without him realizing it. And he's not alone. This is happening in households all over the world, quietly, invisibly, because the danger isn't just in the obviously bad foods, it's in the subtle, sneaky ones we don't question, and that's what makes them so dangerous. The truth is, there are 7 of these everyday foods that are especially harmful after age 60, and chances are you have most of them in your kitchen right now. In the next parts, we're going to break each one down, not just to show you what to avoid, but to show you exactly what to eat instead to feel more alive, energized, and sharp than you have in years. Because once you understand what's been silently sabotaging your health, you can take it back. And the best part? It's easier than you think. Let's talk about one food almost everyone has in their fridge, and it might be doing more harm than good, especially after 60. You've seen it in sandwiches, on breakfast plates, and in quick dinners. Yep. We're talking about processed meats, things like deli slices, bacon, sausages, hot dogs, all those convenient, tasty, familiar favorites. They seem harmless, right? But what if I told you they're packed with hidden chemicals that quietly damage your body from the inside out? Processed meats are full of nitrates and preservatives meant to make them last longer on shelves and look more appealing. But those same ingredients are linked to inflammation in the body, especially dangerous for seniors. Over time, they put stress on the heart, raise blood pressure, and make joint pain worse. Your body becomes more sensitive to these things as you age, and what was once just a tasty lunch can now be a trigger for bigger health problems. Let me tell you about a woman we'll call Grandma Mary. Every day, she made her classic sandwich, white bread, a couple slices of deli turkey, maybe some cheese. She'd eaten like that for decades, but over the years, her arthritis got worse, her hands hurt more, her blood pressure started creeping up even though she wasn't adding much salt to her meals. She thought it was just getting older, but when her daughter took her to a nutritionist, everything changed. They looked at her diet and realized her beloved deli meat sandwich was packed with sodium, preservatives, and inflammatory ingredients. Once she swapped it out, her pain started easing, her blood pressure stabilized. She didn't change everything, just that one sandwich. This is why seniors need to ditch processed meats today. Your body deserves better fuel. Better doesn't mean bland, it just means smarter. Think grilled chicken breast, baked salmon, even hearty plant-based proteins like lentils or tofu. These foods are easier for the body to process and won't sneak in hidden chemicals. If you're thinking, but that sounds like a lot of work, here's a quick tip. Cook once, eat twice. Grill some extra chicken with herbs and olive oil, then use it in sandwiches or salads the next day. Try tuna with lemon and avocado for a fresh, protein-packed lunch, or go for a warm lentil soup with veggies for comfort without the chemicals. Making the switch isn't about giving up what you love, it's about finding better versions that love you back. You'll be surprised how easy and delicious it can be once you know what to look for. Let's talk about something that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now, a loaf of soft white bread. Feels like comfort food, right? But here's what most people don't realize. White bread and other refined grains act like hidden sugar bombs in your body. They break down super fast, spike your blood sugar, then leave you crashing and drained. Especially after 60, this becomes a silent energy thief. You eat, then suddenly feel sluggish, foggy, or just plain tired. And you might think, well, that's just aging. But what if it's not? Take this story. There was a senior man, let's call him Frank. Every morning, without fail, he had 2 slices of white toast with a bit of jam and butter. It was his routine. But as months went by, he noticed something strange. After breakfast, he'd feel tired. Not just a little sleepy, he'd get foggy-headed, low energy, like he needed another nap before the day even began. He thought maybe he wasn't sleeping well. Maybe it was his age catching up. But after a visit to his doctor and a quick chat with a dietitian, he found out the real issue. His breakfast was flooding his system with fast-burning carbs that shot up his blood sugar and then left him crashing. This is the thing. Refined grains like white bread, white rice, and regular pasta lose most of their fiber and nutrients during processing. So what you're left with is a quick sugar hit with no staying power. Over time, this constant up and down messes with your energy, your brain, even your heart health. And for seniors, fiber becomes even more important. It helps with digestion, keeps things moving smoothly, and supports a healthier heart. Without enough fiber, everything from cholesterol to constipation gets worse. So, what can you do instead? Simple swaps make a huge difference. Instead of white bread, go for whole grain or sprouted bread. They digest slower and keep your energy stable. Try ancient grains like quinoa, millet, or buckwheat in your meals. They're rich in nutrients, naturally high in fiber, and surprisingly tasty. Frank, for example, swapped his toast for sprouted grain bread with a bit of nut butter and fruit on the side, and that one change made his mornings feel brand new. Here's one extra tip that makes a big impact. Read your labels. Just because a bread says multigrain doesn't mean it's healthy. Look at the ingredients. The first one should be whole grain or whole wheat. Avoid anything that lists enriched or bleached flour. Those are just fancy names for refined carbs dressed up to sound better. It's not about giving up bread or carbs, it's about choosing the kind that fuels your body, not fights it. When you make that switch, you'll feel it, in your energy, your clarity, and even your mood. And it starts with that one small change on your plate. Every time you reach for that colorful can of soda or pour a tall glass of juice thinking it will give you a quick energy lift, your body is actually being drained. Especially after 60, sugary drinks and even so-called healthy juices can quietly steal your energy and mess with your body's insulin, the hormone that controls blood sugar. Many seniors feel tired, foggy, or moody during the day, and they blame it on aging. But in reality, the sugar hidden in drinks might be the real villain. Picture this, a senior named Linda, full of life but often feeling sluggish by the afternoon. Every morning, she poured herself a glass of orange juice. At lunch, she'd sip a diet soda, thinking it was a better choice than regular. And on hot days, she'd go for a vitamin water or a flavored iced tea. None of it seemed harmful. They were all drinks she'd seen advertised as refreshing, even energizing. But by 3 p.m., Linda would feel completely drained. She'd need to sit down, rest, and sometimes even nap. The truth? Her drinks were secretly hijacking her energy. Sugary drinks spike your blood sugar fast. You feel good for a little while, but then your insulin kicks in to lower it, and that's when the crash hits. And it's not just sodas. Juices, flavored coffees, energy drinks, and even light or diet beverages often contain hidden sweeteners or sugar substitutes that confuse your body and still trigger insulin responses. It's a constant roller coaster that wears your body out. Even worse, many sweeteners are hiding in drinks you'd never expect. Bottled smoothies, flavored yogurts, iced teas, sports drinks, all can contain high levels of sugar or artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame, which may actually make cravings worse and mess with your gut. For seniors, this can also affect brain clarity, memory, and mood. But there's good news, changing this one habit can give you a huge energy boost. Swap out sugary drinks for infused water with slices of fruit, cucumber, or mint. Try unsweetened herbal teas. Peppermint, chamomile, or hibiscus are refreshing and calming. Even sparkling water with a splash of lemon can hit the spot. And when you do want something fruity, go for whole fruits instead of juice. An apple or a handful of berries give you fiber, vitamins, and no sugar crash. Hydration matters more than ever after 60. Drinking more clean, natural fluids helps your brain stay sharp, keeps your joints moving, and supports your digestion. Many seniors mistake dehydration for tiredness or confusion, when all they really need is better hydration with the right drinks. Ditching sugary drinks isn't about missing out. It's about getting back your energy, your focus, and your control. One glass at a time, you can take your vitality back and feel it. Every bite can either heal you or hurt you, and for many seniors, the real damage is happening without even realizing it. It's not just about sugar or fat. Salt is the sneaky culprit quietly sabotaging your health, especially after 60. Your body becomes more sensitive to sodium, and too much of it puts massive pressure on your heart, kidneys, and blood vessels. The same goes for MSG, monosodium glutamate, a flavor enhancer found in many processed and takeout foods. It may make your food taste good, but it's making your health worse. Take the story of George. He was active for his age, always on the go, but over the past year, he couldn't figure out why his blood pressure kept creeping up. His doctor kept adjusting his meds, but nothing seemed to work. George didn't smoke, didn't drink, and thought he ate pretty healthy. But one day, he took a closer look at his pantry and realized most of the quick meals he relied on, frozen dinners, canned soups, even his favorite crackers, were packed with sodium and MSG. That tiny flavor kick, it was costing him big time. His blood pressure wasn't a mystery anymore. It was a slow build-up from years of salt-heavy meals. Many seniors don't even realize how much sodium they're consuming because it's hidden in everyday foods that don't even taste salty. Bread, cereal, salad dressings, sauces, and even healthy snacks are often loaded with it. The scary part? You don't always feel the damage right away, but over time, it wears your heart down, puts pressure on your kidneys, and can even lead to strokes. The good news? You don't have to sacrifice flavor to stay healthy. In fact, food can taste even better when you swap out salt for real, fresh ingredients. Herbs like basil, rosemary, oregano, or thyme can bring bold flavor without any of the risk. Lemon juice or zest can brighten up any dish. Garlic adds a kick and even helps lower blood pressure naturally. And potassium-rich foods like avocados, sweet potatoes, and spinach can actually help balance out sodium levels in your body. If you're used to salty food, your taste buds may need a little time to adjust, but it happens faster than you think. Start by cutting back slowly, reading labels, and cooking more at home. A simple trick? Mix half low-sodium broth with regular broth when making soup, or replace salty snacks with roasted nuts unsalted, fruit slices, or popcorn with herbs instead of butter and salt. Less salt doesn't mean less joy at the table. It means giving your heart, your brain, and your entire body a break. The flavor is still there. You just have to find it in the right places. And when you do, your body will thank you every single day. Time you can take your vitality back and feel it. Fried foods might taste amazing in the moment, but they're quietly stirring up chaos inside aging bodies. That golden crunch comes at a hidden cost. Every bite of deep-fried food releases toxic compounds like advanced glycation end products, AGs, and trans fats. These are like little sparks that light inflammation fires throughout your body. And for seniors, those fires don't just fizzle out. They smolder, spreading pain, stiffness, and long-term damage to joints, arteries, and even the brain. Meet Doris, a sweet 70-year-old who loved her weekly treat, fried chicken from her favorite local diner. It was a comfort food from her childhood, and she believed she earned the right to enjoy it now and then. But over time, she noticed her knees ached more, her hands felt swollen, and her energy just wasn't what it used to be. Her doctor said it was arthritis, but what he didn't mention was how much her favorite foods were feeding the problem. Every crispy bite was adding fuel to the inflammation that was stealing her mobility and comfort. The truth is, inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of healthy aging. It's like rust forming inside the body, slow, silent, but relentless. And fried foods are one of its strongest triggers. They might fill your plate with crunch and flavor, but behind the scenes, they're draining your vitality. Seniors are especially vulnerable because their bodies don't recover from inflammation as quickly, and over time, that leads to everything from joint pain to heart disease and memory issues. But here's the game changer. You can still enjoy that delicious, crispy texture without the damage. You don't need a deep fryer, you need an oven, a steamer, or an air fryer. These tools let you enjoy your favorite foods in a way that supports your health instead of harming it. Imagine crispy sweet potato wedges baked in the oven with olive oil and herbs, or crunchy chicken tenders made in the air fryer without a single drop of unhealthy oil. The flavor? Still there. The guilt and inflammation? Gone. And the best part? It's easier than most people think. Instead of frying, you can coat your food in whole grain breadcrumbs or crushed nuts. Use spices like paprika and garlic powder for flavor, and bake or air fry until golden. You'll get the same satisfying crunch without the pain that usually follows. Aging doesn't mean giving up your favorite foods, it means upgrading them. Once you make this shift, your joints will feel looser, your energy will lift, and your body will finally feel like it's working with you, not against you. It's not just a change in how you cook, it's a powerful step toward a longer, stronger, pain-free life. There's something comforting about cheese and creamy dairy. For many seniors, it's tied to memories: a glass of milk with breakfast, a slice of cheddar with crackers, or a warm bowl of creamy soup. But here's what most don't realize: some of these full-fat dairy favorites can quietly take a toll on the heart. They're loaded with saturated fats, and over time, those fats don't just disappear. They build up. They creep into the arteries, raise cholesterol, and tighten the walls of your blood vessels like a slow trap closing in. Take George, for example. At 72, he prided himself on eating what he loved. His fridge was never short of sharp cheeses, whole milk, and thick cream for his coffee. He looked healthy from the outside, but inside, things were getting risky. His blood pressure started creeping up. His doctor noticed his cholesterol was dangerously high. George thought it was just old age. But the real problem, the very foods he thought were harmless, his daily indulgences, were straining his heart more with every bite. The truth is, aging hearts can't afford that kind of pressure. As we grow older, our arteries become less flexible. The more saturated fats we eat, the more we clog those vital pathways. It's like pouring grease into narrow pipes. Eventually, something backs up. That's when the risk of heart disease skyrockets. But it doesn't mean dairy is the enemy. It means being smarter about it. Not all dairy is bad. It's about the type and the amount. Low-fat options like Greek yogurt give you the creaminess you crave without the heavy fat. Plus, they're packed with probiotics that help digestion, especially for aging guts that may struggle more with regularity. Even a little cheese is okay. The secret is moderation and choosing better quality. Goat cheese or feta in small amounts can be easier on the heart than those heavy, aged blocks of cheddar or processed slices. For milk, consider switching to plant-based options like almond, oat, or soy milk. They're lighter, lower in saturated fat, and often fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Two things seniors absolutely need to maintain strong bones and a healthy immune system. The best part? They taste great and work in coffee, cereal, and smoothies without missing a beat. It's not about giving up flavor. It's about gaining freedom. Freedom from fatigue, chest tightness, and scary trips to the cardiologist. When you trade in heavy dairy for lighter, smarter choices, your heart thanks you in the best way possible, by beating stronger, longer, and without stress. This one change could be the difference between years of quiet decline or years full of energy, movement, and peace of mind. It sounds healthy. It says diet, sugar-free or low-calorie, right on the label. But for many seniors trying to be careful with their weight, blood sugar, or energy, these so-called healthy options are doing more harm than good. The hidden danger? Artificial sweeteners, tiny ingredients with big consequences. They sneak into sugar-free sodas, flavored yogurts, protein bars, and even chewing gum. And while they promise to help you lose weight or control your cravings, the reality is often the exact opposite. Meet Clara. She's 68 and had always been careful with her diet. When she was told her blood sugar was a little high, she immediately cut out sugar.